Duty-free shops rules. Duty-free shops rules, short QA. Rule 1. Q1. What is Rule 1 of the duty-free shops rules? Ans. Rule 1 states the short title and commencement of the duty-free shops rules. Q2. What is the short title of these rules? Ans. These rules are called the Duty-Free Shops Rules, 2018. Q3. When did the Duty-Free Shops Rules come into force? Ans. They came into force on the date of their publication in the Official Gazette. Q4. Why is Rule 1 important? Ans. It formally names the rules and specifies their effective date, giving them legal validity. Q5. Does Rule 1 contain operational conditions? Ans. No. Rule 1 is introductory only. Operational provisions are covered in later rules. Q8. What does Rule 2 of the Duty-Free Shops Rules deal with? Ans. Rule 2 provides definitions of important terms used in the rules. Q2. What is meant by duty-free shop? Ans. A duty-free shop is a shop licensed under customs law to sell goods without payment of customs duty to eligible international passengers. Q3. Who is a licensee under these rules? Ans. A licensee is a person or company granted permission by customs to operate a duty-free shop. Q4. What does customs area mean? Ans. It means an area of an airport or port approved by customs where imported or export goods are stored or sold. Q5. What are imported goods in Rule 2? Ans. Goods brought into India from outside India and kept in the duty-free shop without payment of duty. Q6. What is meant by warehouse? Ans. A warehouse is a place approved by customs where duty-free goods are stored before sale. Q7. Why are definitions under Rule 2 important? Ans. They ensure clear interpretation and uniform application of the rules. Duty-free shops rules, short QA. Rule 3. Licensing of duty-free shops. Q8. What does Rule 3 of the Duty-Free Shops Rules deal with? Ans. Rule 3 deals with the grant of license to operate a duty-free shop. Q2. Who grants the license for a duty-free shop? Ans. The license is granted by the Principal Commissioner or Commissioner of Customs. Q3. Where can a duty-free shop be licensed? Ans. At international airports, seaports, or land customs stations approved by customs. Q4. Is a license mandatory to operate a duty-free shop? Ans. Yes. No duty-free shop can operate without a valid customs license. Q5. Can the license be issued with conditions? Ans. Yes. The customs authority may impose terms and conditions while granting the license. Q6. Is the license transferable? Ans. No. The duty-free shop license is not transferable. Q7. Why is Rule 3 important? Ans. It ensures that duty-free shops operate only under customs control and supervision. Duty-free shops rules, short QA. Rule 4. Conditions of license. Q8. What does Rule 4 of the Duty-Free Shops Rules deal with? Ans. Rule 4 specifies the conditions subject to which a duty-free shop license is granted. Q2. Who must comply with the license conditions? Ans. The licensee of the duty-free shop must comply with all conditions. Q3. Is customs supervision required under Rule 4? Ans. Yes. The duty-free shop must function under the control and supervision of customs. Q4. Can goods be removed from the duty-free shop freely? Ans. No. Goods can be removed only with permission of customs and as per prescribed procedures. Q5. Are proper accounts and records required? Ans. Yes. The licensee must maintain proper accounts, stock registers, and records. Q6. Can the license conditions be changed by customs? Ans. Yes. Customs authorities may impose additional conditions in the public interest. Q7. What happens if license conditions are violated? Ans. The license may be suspended or cancelled, and penal action may be taken under customs law. Duty-free shops rules, short QA. Rule 5. Execution of bond security. Q8. What does Rule 5 of the duty-free shops rules deal with? Ans. Rule 5 deals with the execution of a bond and furnishing of security by the duty-free shop licensee. Q2. Who is required to execute a bond under Rule 5? Ans. The licensee of the duty-free shop is required to execute the bond. Q3. Why is a bond required? Ans. The bond is required to secure the customs duty on goods stored or sold duty-free. Q4. In whose favor is the bond executed? Ans. The bond is executed in favor of the President of India. Q5. Is furnishing security compulsory along with the bond? Ans. Yes. The licensee must furnish security or surety as specified by customs. Q6. What does the bond cover? Ans. It covers due observance of rules, proper accounting of goods, and payment of duty if goods are not properly accounted for. Q7. Why is Rule 5 important? Ans. It safeguards government revenue and ensures compliance with customs laws. Duty-free shops rules, short QA. Rule 6. Receipt and storage of goods. Q8. What does Rule 6 of the duty-free shops rules deal with? Ans. Rule 6 deals with the receipt and storage of goods in a duty-free shop or its warehouse. Q2. How can goods be received into a duty-free shop? Ans. Goods may be received after import or procurement, following customs permission and procedure. Q3. Where must duty-free goods be stored? Ans. Goods must be stored only in the duty-free shop or an approved warehouse under customs control. Q4. Is customs verification required at the time of receipt? Ans. Yes. Goods are subject to customs check, verification, or sealing if required. Q5. Can goods be stored outside the approved premises? Ans. No. Storage outside the approved customs area is not permitted. Q6. Are stock records required for stored goods? Ans. Yes. Proper accounts and inventory records of received and stored goods must be maintained. Q7. Why is Rule 6 important? Ans. It ensures safe custody of duty-free goods and prevents misuse or diversion. Duty-free shops rules, short QA. Rule 7. Sale of goods. Q8. What does Rule 7 of the duty-free shops rules deal with? Ans. Rule 7 deals with the sale of goods from a duty-free shop. Q2. To whom can goods be sold from a duty-free shop? Ans. Goods can be sold only to eligible international passengers departing from or arriving into India, as permitted by customs. Q3. Are sales to domestic passengers allowed? Ans. No. Sales to domestic passengers are not permitted. Q4. Are duty-free goods sold without payment of customs duty? Ans. Yes. Goods are sold without payment of customs duty, subject to passenger eligibility and limits. Q5. Is passenger identity verification required? Ans. Yes. The licensee must verify passport, boarding pass, or travel documents before sale. Q6. Can customs impose conditions on sale of goods? Ans. Yes. Customs may impose restrictions, quantity limits, or conditions on sale. Q7. Why is Rule 7 important? Ans. It ensures duty-free goods are sold only to eligible persons and not misused. Duty-free shops rules, short QA. Rule 8. Accounts and records. Q8. What does Rule 8 of the duty-free shops rules deal with? Ans. Rule 8 deals with the maintenance of accounts and records by the duty-free shop licensee. Q2. Who is required to maintain accounts and records? Ans. The licensee of the duty-free shop must maintain proper accounts and records. Q3. What kind of records must be maintained? Ans. Records of receipt, storage, sale, balance stock, and removal of goods must be maintained. Q4. Are electronic records allowed under Rule 8? Ans. Yes. Accounts and records may be maintained electronically if approved by customs. Q5. How long must records be preserved? Ans. Records must be preserved for the period specified by customs law or instructions. Q6. Can customs officers inspect these records? Ans. Yes. Customs officers may inspect, verify, or audit the accounts and records at any time. Q7. Why is Rule 8 important? Ans. It ensures transparency, accountability, and effective customs control. Duty-free shops rules, short QA, Rule 9, removal of goods. Q8. What does Rule 9 of the duty-free shops rules deal with? Ans. Rule 9 deals with the removal of goods from a duty-free shop or its warehouse. Q2. Can goods be removed freely from a duty-free shop? Ans. No. Goods can be removed only with prior permission of customs and as per prescribed procedure. Q3. For what purposes can goods be removed? Ans. Goods may be removed for sale to eligible passengers, transfer, re-export, or other purposes as allowed by customs. Q4. Is documentation required for removal of goods? Ans. Yes. Proper documents, records, and approvals are required for every removal. Q5. What happens if goods are removed without permission? Ans. Such removal is treated as unauthorized, and customs duty, penalty, and other legal action may apply. Q6. Are removed goods to be accounted for? Ans. Yes. All removed goods must be properly accounted for in stock and sale records. Q7. Why is Rule 9 important? Ans. It prevents diversion or misuse of duty-free goods and protects government revenue. Duty-free shops rules, short QA, Rule 10, disposal of unsold unfit goods. Q8. What does Rule 10 of the duty-free shops rules deal with? Ans. Rule 10 deals with the disposal of unsold, obsolete, or unfit goods lying in a duty-free shop or warehouse. Q2. Can unsold or unfit goods be disposed of freely? Ans. No. Disposal is allowed only with prior permission of customs. Q3. What are the permitted modes of disposal? Ans. Goods may be destroyed, re-exported, or cleared for home consumption on payment of applicable duties, as permitted by customs. Q4. Is customs supervision required during disposal? Ans. Yes. Disposal or destruction must be done under customs supervision. Q5. Is duty payable on disposed goods? Ans. Yes, if goods are cleared for home consumption. Otherwise, no duty is payable for re-export or destruction, subject to conditions. Q6. Are records required for disposal of goods? Ans. Yes. Proper records and documentation of disposed goods must be maintained. Q7. Why is Rule thus important? Ans. It ensures safe, lawful disposal of goods and prevents revenue loss or misuse. Duty-free shops rules, short QA, Rule 11, audit, suspension and cancellation of license. Q8. What does Rule 11 of the duty-free shops rules deal with? Ans. Rule 11 deals with audit, suspension and cancellation of the duty-free shop license. Q2. Can customs conduct an audit of a duty-free shop? Ans. Yes. Customs may audit the accounts, records, and operations of a duty-free shop at any time. Q3. When can a duty-free shop license be suspended? Ans. The license may be suspended for violation of rules, license conditions, or customs laws. Q4. When can a license be cancelled? Ans. The license may be cancelled in case of serious or repeated violations or failure to comply with customs directions. Q5. Is the licensee given an opportunity to be heard? Ans. Yes. The licensee must be given a reasonable opportunity of being heard before cancellation. Q6. What happens to goods after suspension or cancellation? Ans. Goods are dealt with as directed by customs, including re-export, disposal, or duty payment. Q7. Why is Rule 11 important? Ans. It ensures discipline, compliance, and effective regulatory control over duty-free shops. Duty-free shops rules, short QA, Rule 12, power to relax. Q8. What does Rule 12 of the duty-free shops rules deal with? Ans. Rule 12 deals with the power to relax provisions of the rules. Q2. Who has the power to relax the rules? Ans. The central government or the Central Board of Indirect Taxes and Customs, CBIC, has the power to relax the rules. Q3. In what situations can the rules be relaxed? Ans. Rules may be relaxed in genuine, special, or deserving cases. Q4. Is relaxation automatic for all duty-free shops? Ans. No. Relaxation is granted case by case and is not a general exemption. Q5. Are conditions imposed while granting relaxation? Ans. Yes. Relaxation may be subject to terms and safeguards. Q6. Can relaxation override the Customs Act? Ans. No. Relaxation cannot override the Customs Act 1962. Q7. Why is Rule 12 important? Ans. It provides administrative flexibility while safeguarding government revenue and control. Duty-free shops rules, short QA, Rule 13, residual miscellaneous provisions. Q8. What does Rule 13 of the duty-free shops rules deal with? Ans. Rule 13 deals with residual and miscellaneous provisions not specifically covered under earlier rules. Q2. What kind of matters are covered under Rule 13? Ans. Matters relating to implementation, interpretation, and compliance with the duty-free shops rules. Q3. Can customs issue instructions under Rule 13? Ans. Yes. Customs authorities may issue instructions, directions, or clarifications to ensure proper implementation. Q4. Are licensees required to follow such instructions? Ans. Yes. All instructions issued by customs are binding on the licensee. Q5. Does Rule 13 override other rules? Ans. No. It operates in addition to the other rules and the Customs Act 1962. Q6. What happens if an issue is not expressly mentioned in the rules? Ans. Such issues are handled as per Customs Act, notifications, circulars, or directions. Q7. Why is Rule 13 important? Ans. It ensures smooth administration and practical flexibility in operating duty-free shops.
Hmm.